How's it going, flipping family? And welcome back to yet another flipping video. Today is a guide. I've made a guide, a beautiful, sweet, well-timed guide of how to flip with a 10 mil cash stack. Now, this is relevant to me, especially since I lost my entire cash stack. And I got back to those lower like 10 mil, 20 mil, 30 mil, and I had to dig for items to flip, and I kind of forgot my roots on how to flip with under a 100 mil cash stack. Well boys, I'm going to be showing you that here, highlighting some important details to consider whenever you guys are flipping with a 10 mil cash stack. Now I'm going to make the assumption that you already have some experience with flipping. This is not a 100% beginner's guide to flipping. This is if you have around a 10 mil cash stack. Boys, if you have over a 10 mil cash stack, I would say anything over 20 mil, this may not be the video for you. There are some other methods, strategies that you can use to make you more money. This is a perfect guide for anybody around a 10 mil to 20 mil cash stack, boys. Now, depending on your experience, you can expect at least a mil hour flipping with this size cash stack, but there are obviously some conditions to this. A, you have to be closing your flips, meaning you have to be selling them, you have to be buying them. And B, not every session is going to be good. You have to keep this in mind so you aren't surprised if you follow this guide and you don't make the amount I said that you would. Flipping is kind of like fishing. Some days, things will really be biting. Margins will be going crazy and you'll be making bank. Hell, one day you may even catch a massive fish or get a huge margin, but then the next day, nothing is biting and you go home empty-handed. Go in with that mindset. Always make sure that you understand the market is volatile. It is extremely volatile. You always have to keep that in mind whenever you are flipping. With this in mind, make sure you guys are subscribed. Click that button down below. If it's red, the text is red, you need to click that subscribe button so you know whenever I release new content. Also, join the Flipping Family Discord. Link for that is in the description of this video. Let's get into it, boys. Now you're going to be shocked whenever I say this, but refer back to the previous comment. I can give you a list of items that are commonly flipped. However, the margins on them vary depending on the time of day and the volume of that particular item, and volume means how many times the item is sold per day. With this in mind though, the main flips that I really want you guys to focus on are high volume items with a mixture of the items in the 1 to 4 million price range. If you don't know what high volume items are, check out my video on the top 40 high volume items that you can flip. It's a great resource that you can use to find more high volume flips besides for what we're going to talk about in this video.
Nice.
Now here's a list of some high volume items. Probably 4 of the most popular high volume items in my opinion. They're at least my favorite 4. There's obviously a ton more. Please check out that 40 high volume item flipping video that I made. I promise you it's worth it. You'll find a lot more items that you can flip from there. This is only a fraction of items that you can use. So please, please, please be adventurous. See what other high volume items you can use to make you bank. I promise you boys, this is the way that we learn to flip. Please, please do your own adventuring. Check out some other items and see what is profitable for you. Along with high volume items, you need to be incorporating items such as Toxic Blowpipe, Amulet of Fury, Sears Ring, Berserker Ring, Uncharged Toxic Trident, Occult Necklace, Serpentine Helmet, Dragonfire Shield, Brimstone Ring, and Guardian Boots. There's obviously a ton of other items that you can be using and incorporating in your flipping session, but these are the ones that I want you to focus on, especially with a cash stack of your size. They're the ones that I found the most profitable for this price range, and you should 100% be flipping them every session. Now what I mean by flipping method is how you distribute your money, how you want to spend that dough. Well, there are 2 different approaches to this, my guy, and we're going to talk about both of them. So listen up. If you want to be extremely conservative and make a modest amount of GP,
What?
then you stick with those high volume items exclusively. However, low risk, low reward. You know, what you talked about in business class. Well, you can take a little bit of a higher risk and potentially make substantially more by incorporating some of the higher margin items that we talked about above. But if you do this, I want you to follow this particular order. This order has worked for me, and I promise if you are new, it will 100% work for you. First and foremost, you need to flip some high volume items just so you can get some tread and you can get some GP to counteract the price checks on the higher margin, lower volume items, which we're about to get into. So first and foremost, you need to flip some high volume items at first. Once again, I have an entire video on it. Go check it out. The first item you're going to be checking out here is going to be the Amulet of Fury. I always start out most of my flipping sessions with this item. It's just a really solid item to start out with. After the Fury, you're going to go on to the Toxic Blowpipe. After the Blowpipe, move on to the Berserker Ring. And after the Berserker Ring, you're going to check out the Serpentine Helmet. Probably one of my favorite flips recently, has really been killing it. After the Serpentine Helmet, you're going to check out the Uncharged Toxic Trident. The Trident, once again, has really been killing it, right up there with the Serpentine Helmet. After the Uncharged Toxic Trident, I want you to check out the Dragonfire Shield. Dragonfire Shield, another really solid item, a little bit volatile, you have to keep an eye out for that. And last but not least is going to be the Guardian Boots. Guardian Boots, pretty similar to the Dragonfire Shield, volatility-wise, and they take a little bit longer to buy. That's the big difference that I've seen with them. But overall, they're a really solid item. You need to follow this order though, okay? I promise this order has been tested. This is an order that I usually follow during my flipping sessions. I find the best success whenever I'm using this order. Just keep in mind that your success is going to depend on the demand for that item, the time you flip it, and a bunch of other factors. You may not have success a few times whenever you're flipping this, but I promise you a majority of the time, you're going to do well. And the other method we're talking about is sticking strictly to high volume items. If you want a very conservative but bound to give you profit approach, then you definitely just stick to high volume items. But once again, low risk, low reward. I definitely recommend strictly flipping high volume if you are new to flipping with a 10 mil cash stack. That way you can kind of get your feet wet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't recommend it if you are not new to flipping and you have some previous experience. You should 100% be incorporating some other items besides for high volume. Another great resource if you don't know what high volume items to flip is to go to RuneScape's website, check out the Grand Exchange, and go to highest traded or most traded. I forgot exactly what it was, but go to the highest traded and that will show you items that are highly traded throughout the day on the Grand Exchange, and just work off those. Figure out which of those items work well for you, what time of the day they work well for you. That is the only way you're going to figure out the best way for you to make profit and the best high volume items for you to flip. Because once again, it depends. It really varies, but that is an amazing resource for you to go check out if you have not seen it yet. Thank you for tuning in today's guide on how to flip with a 10 mil cash stack. There's obviously going to be a lot more guides to come in the future. Boy's still kind of recovering from that terrible, dreadful event which happened a few weeks ago, but it's okay. That's in the past of us. If you don't know what it is, then you got to go check out some of my other videos. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Boys, if you are not subscribed, I need you to click the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button right down below this video. You need to know whenever I post new stuff. And if you're not subscribed with a notification bell on, how the hell are you gonna know? So please don't forget to do that. And also leave me some feedback. I love all the comments that I've been getting recently. So please keep them coming, man. That's how I grow as a creator, getting feedback from the people who watch my videos. Novelty idea, right? Yeah, I know. I must be a pioneer of this new frontier. But thank you for watching today's video. I hope to see you guys in the next one.